Great privilege to have you, Ricky Kej,
And thank you
today
for the
with
suit. It's
us.
so beautifully designed.
It's aptly suiting your personality, and
Thank
we
you
are
so
glad
much.
you are here to advocate for Khadi, which
Thank
is
you.
now that we are having your concert. I'm sure you have something in mind prepared for the event.
No,
Can you just give us some teasers, like what
it's going to be a
exactly?
spectacular audiovisual experience for sure. And, it's going to be my usual brand of music, which is about environmental consciousness, positive social impact, and of course, themed around, what we spoke about just now about sustainable
Okay.
fashion,
Yeah.
about sustainable agriculture, because a lot of people are not sensitive to is that food that we eat and the clothes that we wear define our sustainability and define our personal responsibility towards the environment. Of course, our food needs to be grown on land, and land usage becomes really important. That is what contributes directly towards climate change. But also the fibers that we wear, like the suit that I'm wearing right now, it has to be grown somewhere,
True.
and it takes about 13 to 14 cotton plants to actually create a single cotton pant, and it takes
Yeah.
150 days to actually harvest
Absolutely.
the cotton, and then after that it's transported all over the world. And that's the reason why khadi becomes really important, because the water footprint and the carbon footprint of khadi that has been created, that has been hand spun within India and also stitched and fashioned in India, that's the most sustainable way to actually be fashionable.
True.
And khadi can be fashionable in so many ways.
Right. So, what is the message that you would like to give it to this generation, Gen Zs? What do you think they should? I mean, now they are very conscious than, in terms of fashion, in terms of what they want, in terms of conservation, in terms of environment. What is one line that you would like to
See,
give a
the youth,
message?
especially in India or all over the world, the youth cannot be put into one single bucket.
Mhm.
That this idea that the youth has become very conscious about the problems of our planet. I do not believe that is true. I believe in some ways it is true and some ways it is not true. As a human species, we're becoming less and less sensitive to what is important. Like, for example, every kid nowadays knows who has directed the new Avengers movie, or who's going to be the actors in the new movie, or the latest K-pop song, or and whatever is there in pop culture. But when you ask a kid today to turn on a faucet of water, they do not know where that water is coming from.
That's true,
Which
absolutely.
river it's coming from, or which borewell it's coming from, which is, I think, extremely important nowadays. And I do not blame it on the kids. It's because of the education system, that the education system has become so centralized. Basically, we are not understanding what is happening in the grassroots around us itself, and we're not sensitive to what we're eating nowadays. Because most kids today, when I speak to them, they feel that, or rather, they do not know anything beyond rice being born in a supermarket. They always feel that the rice begins its journey in the supermarket. But most of these kids, if they actually see how much of pain a farmer goes through to actually grow rice, in the paddy field and
Yeah.
flooding the field and harvesting the rice, they will never waste rice, or they will never waste food, because you'll see the amount of hard work that goes into actually creating it right from the farm to the plate. There's so much of hard work that goes into it. So I believe that the only advice that I can give to children and to the parents of children is that let's sensitize ourselves to everything around us, and let's sensitize ourselves to understand that every action that we have has got a very strong reaction. And we need to understand that we ourselves, it's within our capabilities to actually make a difference. We constantly talk about changing the world, but we so rarely talk about changing ourselves. So I think it's time for the youth and all of us to understand that we need to change ourselves first and not bother about the world. First, change ourselves.
I still remember a day when one of the students said, "Where do you get the water from?" Then they say, "Madam, it's from the tap." Because they're not exposed
What happens?
what happens behind all of this technology.
Like when I
So they,
first went to Las Vegas, I remember when I was, I think, about 21 or 22 years old. I'd gone there for my first concert in Las Vegas. Of course, after that, I've gone there so many times. And I remember landing from the airport and going to the Las Vegas Strip. I saw all of these large water fountains and large water bodies. And I was thinking to myself, this is a desert, right? Because I've studied it in geography that it's a desert. So where is all this water coming from? Then I remember going to my hotel room and asking people, and I realized that the water is pumped from over 2,000 kilometers. It's pumped all the way, and all of these water bodies that are human made are so shallow. So that is why the amount of evaporation that happens, and that water is going completely for waste, which could actually be used for proper utilitarian purposes and for actual survival purposes. But it's just used for aesthetics, and it is completely going to waste. So I believe that our country, India, should not go in that direction. We should be far more responsible with our so-called resources.
yes, since we are talking about the water, even when you consume handspun, there's less water consumed,
Yeah.
because there's absolutely nothing. It's all hand woven, just the cotton or silk, and no energy is utilized
Yeah.
for creating the fabric. So this is again,
No, it's
something
much.
where,
It goes further than that actually, because what I mentioned a little earlier, and what you said just now, that water footprint is far lesser. Because it's
yes,
said that for a regular cotton pant, it's about 7,000 to 8,000 liters of water, because of the amount of traveling that the pant has to go through. Because if you buy a cotton pant from, let's say, a fast fashion store, then first of all you have to harvest, you have to grow the cotton for 150 days. Then you have to harvest it. Once it's harvested, it's transported to a completely different country with a large carbon footprint and a large water footprint for processing. Then after that for weaving. Then after that to a completely different country for dyeing. Then a
right,
completely different country for stitching. And then after that, it's sent all over the world for sales.
sales, right.
So whereas with Khadi, it's all confined within our country, and it's confined within a small region, and it's completely hand spun, as you said. So nothing can be more responsible than wearing Khadi and then promoting Khadi.
And even when you talk about dyeing, most of these khadi fabric are using natural dyes,
Natural dyes,
not
correct.
those azo dyes, or no chemicals are involved. So the more we use khadi, the more sustainable we are in.
Correct.
I have a random questions for you. What is your fashion statement like? Some outfit or some styling? What's a personal style?
For me, since the time I've been, I think about 17 or 18, I've always been into formals. So you'll very rarely see me in anything besides a suit or an Indian formal outfit. So I'm always into sharp formals.
So you feel that adds great confidence when you
Sure.
are.
I mean, that's what I like. That's all. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And can we know which is your favorite color? What's the color that inspired?
I always prefer black, so darker
Okay.
colors. Those are the colors that I like. Of course, today I'm in a very lighter shade
Yes, yes, of
that
course.
you've actually designed for me. But normally, that's what I prefer. I prefer darker colors.
Darker
Yeah.
shades. Okay. Is there any classic pieces that you maintain in your wardrobe, so you can just reach out, mix and match, and wear them?
Oh, so I'm quite boring that way, because I've just got the only kind of shirts that I have are black and white shirts. So I've got a few white shirts and I've got a few black shirts, and all of them are exactly the same design, as you can see over here, with like a Chinese collar and full sleeve.
Great.
And besides that, it is single-breasted, double-breasted jackets and sherwanis. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all that is there in my closet.
Okay, that's wonderful. You're also a person who focuses on capsule wardrobes,
Yeah,
keeping the pieces
minimal.
minimal, but then repeat wearing it,
Correct.
which is again a very conscious decision. I think a lot of us inspire with that.
Yeah, so I've got this hashtag known as Rewear for Earth. So it's all about rewearing our clothes, because, of course, sustainable fashion is extremely important. Khadi
Right.
is extremely important. But at the same time, I think we need to buy good quality clothes like Khadi and rewear them constantly and take care of our clothes. So that's what I believe in. At any given point in time, I only have 11 sets of clothes. And only when one set of clothes completely gets destroyed or unwearable, that only then I will buy another one, or I'll put another one into my collection. But I love rewearing my clothes. Like, for example, the last Grammy Awards, I had a cream sherwani, and then what I did was that I ended up wearing that for over 70 concerts. And this Grammy Awards in February, I created a black sherwani, and that black sherwani, I've already worn it for 3 concerts, and I'm going to be wearing it for concerts till the end of the year, hopefully about 60 or 70 concerts before I cannot wear it anymore. So I believe in buying good quality clothes or acquiring good quality clothes, taking care of them, and constantly rewearing them, even at public events.
We have seen you wear this with a nice lion Zardozi
Yeah, that's
work,
for this year. Yeah,
the golden one.
I'm going to be wearing that a lot now. Yeah.
I'm getting one ready for you on, something similar with
Okay.
a grand rose
Nice.
again to
Nice.
support the concept.
Wonderful.
Where do you shop usually?
I shop in Bangalore itself. I don't shop anywhere else. Even when I'm traveling abroad, and I travel a lot. Like last year, I did almost 40 countries. This year, I've already touched about 12 countries, and it's hardly been about 4 or 5 months. But the thing is that when I travel to a new country, it's usually for a concert, and I prefer just staying in the hotel room and going to the venue, finishing off the concert, sleeping, and then going back to the airport. So I don't do any of the tourist destinations, nor do I do any of the shopping. The band that travels with me and my assistant who travels with me, they like going to all the tourist places, and they like shopping and stuff like that. But for me, I prefer just resting, doing my duty, and putting in all my energy for the concert, and then traveling to the next country or the next city.
Because I see a lot of celebrities who travel abroad they shop from there and then come back to India.
No, I
But
shop. All of my
it's
clothes
so
are from
inspiring
Bangalore.
to see you
Yeah.
take Indian clothes,
Yeah.
go abroad globally. You promote Indian wear, so that's
No, I
really
think the
good.
fabrics that are available in India, I think
Right.
the kind of quality of stitching, the quality of tailoring, the bespoke suits that you can get over here from multiple places. I think it's very very high quality. An Indian person does not have to look anywhere else. You can get whatever you want from here.
There's a lot of color,
Yeah.
a lot of grandeur here.
If you know what you want, you can get what you want here.
That's true. That's true. Coming back to music, what's your favorite composition personally?
Of course, it keeps changing, and I've got a playlist on my Spotify which is almost 150 songs long, and I keep shuffling them. But it's various genres of music. It could be, jazz music, could be Indian classical, it could be fusion music, it could be heavy metal music. So all sorts of music in that particular playlist. So I do not have a particular taste. I like all forms of music because for me, I do not believe in genres of music. I just believe in music that I like and music that I don't like.
It's such a great pleasure. So, hashtag Rose for Khadi.
Absolutely.
Let's together promote Khadi and invite our citizens to consume more of Khadi and support our environment.
Excellent.
And pleasure having you.
Pleasure
Thank
being
you
there.
so
Thank
much.
you so much.